I'm going to try to get these lights to turn off a little bit because it's really bright on this one side. Wow, what a day. What a day. It's official. There is such a thing as trafficking. Go check out what's happening in Tucson, Arizona. Craig Sawyer is, man, I'll tell you what, it's men like him that are going to inspire so many other men and women in that military, in different places of understanding on how to take care of these things, to do it ourselves. I think there is a huge wake-up call in realizing that the police aren't going to do anything when they're bought off by these global conglomerates. And what we see, what Cemex is connected to, I mean, bye Felicia. Guess who just got outed? Every single person that was connected to the Pizzagate on high levels. Bye Felicia. They're done. So we can celebrate. I mean, everybody, this has been amazing. It's been an amazing, amazing journey. And so many people are like waking up. I mean, right now, I've got a family that is totally understanding what Disney's doing. They're watching videos of posting how subliminal messages are in Disney. They were talking about it in their everyday play groups today. I had some people. I'm around a lot of the organic health movement a lot. That's very near and dear to my heart. I really believe if you look like crap, guess what? Don't listen to people that tell you what you should be doing with your body. If like you've got this doctor that walks around like a monster, probably not the best person to listen to. But I've got this doctor in Jacksonville who was 75 years old, still running marathons. Yeah, I'm going to listen to him. Yeah, I'm going to listen to him. And guess what? He had nothing to do with what I'm about to tell you happened today. This is unbelievable. And as we were talking, and we talked for a good 45 minutes, I was trying so hard to just map out and just photographically memorize the exact conversation. So I'm going to do my best verbatim to remember exactly how this conversation went because it was so powerful. And I kept telling him he needs to start a blog. Now, who is this man? I will tell you. He is a former Merck Pharmaceutical Sales Rep. And we talked at length, first over smoothies and natural juicing. And he brought, at first it was about kombucha. He wanted to understand kombucha and why kombucha was such a big deal. And I said, well, you know, I said the kombucha has live bacteria and all kinds of goodies that really heal your gut, because 90% of the problems that you have with dis-ease starts in your gut, because all those little germs, fungus, parasites, mold, yeast, whatever. Okay? Why do you think people have all these crazy distended bellies? What's growing in them? They got skinny legs and skinny arms. What's in the belly? That's not normal. So it's these kind of things, yeast, fungus, mold, bacteria, parasites even, that cause so many diseases. You know, rosacea, eczema, IBS, Crohn's disease. I mean, you name it. So we started talking about that. And he goes, well, yeah, that makes so much sense. He's like, and do you ever notice how the fruit doesn't have any seeds anymore? And I said, yeah, I do notice that. And he goes, that's not good, is it? He's like, it started to freak me out. At first I liked it because it was convenient. But after a while I was thinking, well, how are they supposed to grow more of the plant if there's no seeds left? And I went, exactly. And I said to him, do you know that eating the seeds, you know, like back in the day, if you actually ate the seeds, that worked in your favor to clean out a lot of the yeast, fungus, mold, bacteria, parasites that sit in your gut. Seeds do that. Why do you think that when you're having a problem with parasites or any kind of issues, they tell you to eat pumpkin seeds? It's the seeds. I started really diving into this whole thing probably 5 years ago. I was having all kinds of stomach issues for the longest time. So in my own journey, I've really connected with a lot of really unbelievably high-minded top guru health people. Dr. Kassar out of Hawaii, for one, he's amazing. Hey, what's up, lady? Good to see you. And so I'm looking forward to you hearing the story of what happened today. Um, it's been pretty wild. So I said, eat the seeds. It's actually gonna get rid of all that stuff. And he says, that's when he stopped. And he said, do you know what I used to do for a living? And I'm thinking to myself, I just met you like 3 seconds ago. Of course I'm not going to know. And he said, I used to be a Merck Pharmaceutical Sales Rep. And he said, you know, my conscience, this just makes me so happy. This is going to be a video of hope. You know, I want you guys to know that there are people out in the world that have been a part of Hollywood changing their minds. People that have been a part of the production side changing their minds. People that are a part of horrible industries and they change their minds. This guy here was high-level Merck, doing very, very well, 6 figures. And after a few years, he said, I can't do this anymore because I'm going to become a zombie. He said he'd sit in these meetings of how the pharmaceutical sales managers would be showing them how to persuade and manipulate the doctors so that the doctor would lean towards using a specific drug for whatever patients needed, or not really needed, but they were going to be told this would work for you. Never, not once. And this is what I love about what he said. He said the biggest thing that bothered me, and what now that I've learned, because now he's gone into organic, he's learning all of this holistic stuff. He says he's healthier, he's happier, he eats right. He goes, after all of this money being made and all this sickness upon sickness, and how many more pills do they need to take, and they never say when can I get off of this pill? I said, I know, exactly. He says, you know, there's all these policies in government that talk about healthcare and how people need to have the healthcare and taxes and you know, all these different things. No one talks about clean food. And I said, yep. Because if we had clean, real, live food and we taught our little kids, and this is what he said, the little kids and the elderly, he said, if we circled the wagons with their health, nobody. No, I didn't say his name. I never say anyone's names because of confidentiality unless they would want me to. But this gentleman I met, he was a stranger up until today. We met at a natural whole food store and just started talking. And he told me that he used to be a high-level Merck pharmaceutical sales rep. Okay. And so we just started talking about the experiences that he had and the different revelations that he had and some insights that he had. So that's kind of where we're at. And he said, why are we not circling the wagons with clean, good food? I said, because clean, good food doesn't profit all the other sickness maintenance industries that are literally running everything. You've got Monsanto that's trying to basically own life and take it away and so you can pay top dollar for the mimic of it. GMO foods that are now going to turn into plastic food. There's 3D printing of plastic food that they're experimenting on now with the military. I'm not joking. I am not joking. I'm going to open up this little cookie. I'm going to sticky snack while we talk. Yeah, I got home from work a little bit, so I just made a little bit of a sneaky snack. He said that it's amazing how he says, well, we have to learn how, as adults, how to eat again. because of all the programming that our parents to kids to parents to kids for the last 3 or 4 generations have learned to eat total junk. Well, if you eat total junk, and he says, and all the mental illness, this is him saying this, a former Merck sales rep. He says, yeah, oh no, yeah, I don't know that guy. That'd be cool though. And if you know him, ask him to start blogging because I asked this guy to start blogging. He's like, why? And I said, because the more voices that are out there, whether it's on YouTube or whether it's, just doing your own blog or connecting with people on Twitter and just sharing your truth, that raises awareness, and there's a silent majority that are out there. He talked about this metaphor, and we kept going back to this over and over again. He says, first of all, everyone's worried about mental health and they're worried about all these different things and they want to give people more drugs. He says, if people were eating real, live, clean food that kept them healthy, where their brains were functioning properly, their bodies were functioning properly, their energy was up, their minds were working properly, we would not have half of the problems that we have. And I was like, yes, exactly. I was so happy to hear it from him. Because this is a guy that was dug in. And when people are dug in that much, making 6 figures, they don't want to wake up because that means they have to change their entire life. And not many people are willing to do that. And I was so proud of him listening to his journey. That's why I said, you got to write a blog, dude. And he says, he said, let's talk about vaccines. And I was like, ooh, because I didn't say anything. I wasn't trying to like push the conversation. I just like let him roll with what he wanted to talk about. So he's like, it's like the vaccines. How many more vaccinations do they need? He's like, this is crazy. And he's like, why do you think people keep getting sicker and sicker? And I was just like, oh, okay, keep talking. He said, what was the next thing that he said? Oh, he said, and then you're put on a panel with the pharmaceutical sales reps do this to shame the doctor that goes rogue in listening to their own conscience. This is what happens. The pharmaceutical sales rep will invite their doctors that, like say they've got like 10 doctors on their circuit that the doctors will purchase from them. Okay, sorry. I'm just really hungry. But I just wanted to make sure I got this video started because I didn't want to forget what he said. It's just a fortune cookie anyway. Let's see what the fortune says. Ooh, this is good. So for my little fortune cookie, that's going to be sort of my dinner tonight, it says, he deserves paradise who makes his companions laugh. That's a good one. Very true. Very true. Through all this insanity, laughing through everything is what keeps us sane. And all of my friends that are involved in this stuff, that is the one thing that we are really good at. And keep each other going because of that, which is really awesome. So yes, thank you for that, fortune, universe. Going back to what he was saying. So the pharmaceutical sales rep will, when he's kind of really doing a hard sale for all of his doctors, he'll bring them all together, wine them, dine them, and then they're all in a room and he'll start selling the products. And let's just say one doctor out of the 10 just knows this is bad news bears. The research isn't strong enough on it. They haven't done enough lab tests on it. They're very shady on the side effects. The product is literally just coming out of the science lab and there's not many trial runs. And it just seems very, very risky. He says this is what happens. If the one doctor out of 10 stands up and is like, no, I don't want that. But the others, because maybe they're going to get really wealthy in kickbacks for this, they'll shame the doctor. And they'll also do a subtle character assassination of like, he's not really looking out for your health. I know what I can do to help you. He's not really that committed because he's not going for this specific product when all the rest of them are into it. And you know what? This is not a far-fetched concept to really grasp our heads around, to know that this actually happens in real life, because this happens in every single business. This happens all the time. It's the whole groupthink. The psychologists did tons of studies on how to manipulate people through groupthink. Of course, it's going to happen like that. Another thing that he mentioned, which I thought was really interesting, is he said the 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 FDA and the companies, they only do trial runs and test runs based on the singular assumption that someone's only taking that singular drug, not a combination. Now, in real life, we know that most people are constantly on a combination thing of drugs. You wonder why everyone gets screwed up. But then the company, whether it's Merck, whether it's Dow, whether it's, oh my goodness, there's so many of them. Sometimes you just want to block them out of your mind because it's just so ridiculous. Procter and Gamble, I mean, whatever. They can always come back and cover their butts by saying, well, we did all these trial runs on this drug, it's fine. Did you do a trial run on the top 3 combination drugs that go along with it that most people in practical reality get put on? Which leads us into what he wanted to talk about next, which was Gardasil. And I was like, oh, we're going there. Oh, I am so excited. And I'll tell you why. I mean, I didn't say that to him, but I was like, yes. I wanted to hear his perception and his perspective on that drug so badly, because I have a personal major beef with that drug, and I'll tell you why. Now, first of all, I'm like against all of it. Don't tread on me when it comes to any kind of sickness maintenance, anything. I have nothing to do with that industry. They're crazy. I want nothing in my body from them. I'm good. I'm good. I found out in 2013 that the Pittsburgh Public Schools mandatorily, you have to get Gardasil to go into the 6th grade. I freaked out. That's when I first got home from California, and my neighbor's kid was like going into the 6th grade, little girl, beautiful little girl, and I'm like trying not to freak out in front of her so that she wouldn't panic, but legitimately I was like, you got to be, kidding me. Mandatory for public schools. Are you, what? Mm-mm. And this drug does not have a lot of trial runs at all. And now, in a lot of different health circles, they're talking about how it causes the inability to conceive, infertility. You want to find out who Nazis are, just go to your usual big pharma drug company. They're always pushing something telling you it's for your good, but it actually gets you into population control. So he says to me, he said that was the final straw. That Gardasil was what made him quit. And I thought that was interesting. That Gardasil was the one that made him quit, because that was also the drug that really got me. And he said, I asked him point blank, have you heard about the connection between infertility and Gardasil that some of the people are talking about in these circles? And he says, no, I don't know about that. But he's like, but it would make sense if people are using a combination of things. You just don't know what's going to happen to an individual when one person is doing this with themselves, another person is doing that. There's all these things. And I was like, wow, that is so true. And yeah, and at the end of the conversation, it was just so lovely. It was just really, really great to be able to talk openly and honestly and just, you know, find out so many amazing things from someone I literally just met. And people are really starting to wake up to so many things. This is so good. This is what I think so many have been hoping for, but there's a silent majority. It's just like the 9 doctors out of 10 that just go along with the program. Maybe they're selfishly profiting from it or selfishly profiting from not saying anything. Or maybe they silently know something's better, but they just don't want to cause a scene. For decades, most people have been doing this. That's why everything has gotten so out of control. You know, even when people looked up for a minute and saw there was something wrong, they were too afraid and feeling too powerless to say anything. And yeah, it was difficult before the internet, no doubt. And most of the information couldn't travel so fast, or we couldn't research as much as everyone's doing now, which is on an epic scale. I mean, if you want to know anything there's to do about anything at this point, especially through Reddit, the researchers on that are amazing. People aren't even playing around. It's beautiful to see. Um, Start believing your friends. Believing the people that are actually in these different circles willing to share their experiences. Stop listening to Anderson Cooper. That'd be really awesome. Don Lemon, are you seriously? Don Lemon, you got to be kidding me. You know, I mean, it's bizarre. People will listen to Ellen DeGeneres. They'll listen to Oprah. And they think that Oprah and all those people are just like them. There's a reason why they live in multi-million-dollar houses and they have billion-dollar incomes and resorts and everything like that, because they lie. And they're rewarded for lying. They don't live like you. And actually, they don't eat the GMOs. They don't eat any of that stuff. They eat full-on organic. If they're not even doing something darker than that, which I'm not going to go into tonight. I'm just not going there because it's just so dark. It's going to be a good video. It's going to be a good video. This is about hope. This is about hope. Doors opening. People thinking that they can speak these things, and you can live outside these realms of, I have to get my food at Publix and it's probably going to be fake food. No. I mean, look, I'm going to show you. This is the importance of seeds. Because seeds actually create abundance and freedom. And I'll show you how that happens. You see that little guy? I had to kill. This was the weirdest thing. I found a strange slug in there the other day. It was really weird. But that's the beginning of a couple lemon trees. Watered it, and now I'm going to have some lemon trees. 5 years ago, I planted an avocado pit from an organic avocado, and now I've got a big old tree. It hasn't bloomed just yet. It hasn't like created the seeds yet. It hasn't done the fruit yet because it takes a little while, but that's the point. You know, that's what's amazing about nature. It's taking a little while. Okay, back. We don't have to resort to plastic surgery or liposuction or all this crazy stuff that people are getting into if you know how to actually. It's still reconnecting. That's taking a while. It's almost there. It's connecting. Sorry guys, I'm a little far out. The reception always isn't always so good. Or maybe I just said the wrong thing. think it's recording. It says it's reconnecting on my side, so I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for it to be done. Hopefully we'll get it back. I'm just gonna start talking because it says it's live and it's moving forward. So I'm just hoping that it is reconnecting and you can hear me. And if not, I'll just continue on a different video and talk about this same subject. The idea of being able to eat fruit with the seeds in it, clearing out your system from the actual yeast, fungus, bacteria, mold that causes 90% of any issues that big pharma or the sickness maintenance industry will charge you top dollar for drugs. Am I back? Can you see me? Okay, good. So I'm back on. Yeah, we lost connection. There's so many things and that's free. That's free. If you eat real live food, okay, I'm talking, and people will go, what does that mean? A beet, a banana, an apple, fresh vegetables, raw, all that stuff cleans out your skin, keeps your belly down, gives you energy. It feeds you because it's life. Life feeds life. Death feeds death. All right. It still says it's reconnecting, so what I'm probably going to do is end this video and I'll start another one just to be safe. But anyway, thanks for listening and keep believing in all that good stuff, and I'll talk to you in just a minute.